You're watching One-on-One Sports, hosted by Erik Kendall and Christian Binder, with resident experts Tom Waterman, Greg Brzezowski, and Alex Rosenbaum. Billy O'Riordan and Josh Norris. Robert Woner and Michael Heil. Paulo De La Feld and Alex Sharon. Christine Williams and Aaron Moger. Produced by Lindsay Humbert. And Alex Leedy. Welcome to One-on-One Sports.
Hello and welcome to another One-on-One Sports. I'm Christian Binder.
And I'm Erik Kendall. As the weather gets a little colder, we heat things up for you with a sizzling plate of sports topics. Here are your starting five.
Vince Young has had another emotional outburst and now is at odds with Titans coach Jeff Fisher. Erik, what's going to happen to Vince Young going forward?
You know, it'll be interesting to see what Vince Young does. I happen to think he's probably done in Tennessee. That I think the bridge has been burned between him and Fisher. And Fisher's obviously the guy that the ownership, the front office values. It's weird to think that Vince Young, this great star in college, is so emotionally inept as an NFL quarterback. He's never really dealt with adversity through Texas. In Tennessee, he hasn't dealt with it well.
Yeah, I think this is a whole organization thing. I don't think the Titans are wrong telling him not to come to not even bother reporting because he did some, he's throwing his equipment into the stands. All of this stuff just shows that he's done. He's burned his bridges. He's out at Tennessee.
It's interesting. I don't think Jeff Fisher's without blame. For some reason, he's the highest tenured coach. I don't really see why. Another player whose future is uncertain is Yankee captain and New York City legend Derek Jeter. Christian, Jeter's he's testing the free agent waters, but do you see him going anywhere but New York?
No, absolutely not. This guy is a Yankee
tend to agree.
For life. The Yankees are already offering him a more lucrative contract than anybody else is going to offer him. 3 years, 45. And Brian Cashman said, you know what, go test the market. If you think this is not good enough, go test the market because you're not going to find anything better.
You know, it's funny because we've seen it happen. We've seen like Joe Montana in a Chiefs uniform. We've seen this kind of thing happen before where someone that you can't imagine being anywhere else, Brett Favre is an example, goes. I don't see it happening with Jeter. He's too much of an institution there in New York, and he's not going to get a better deal anywhere else. You said it. The contract is, bar none, the best he'll get.
Right. The Heat have gotten off to a rather lukewarm start, and players have become frustrated with head coach Erik Spoelstra. Erik, how much longer will he be the head coach of the Heat?
I don't agree with a lot of people who are saying. I think he's going to be there a little longer. I think he's going to be there at the end of the season, into the playoffs. I think we have Pat Riley pegged for a little more of an egomaniac than he is. He's there at the practices. He's there at every game. He's put his stamp on this team. Him being the coach isn't going to do anything.
He definitely has. But look, when the same thing happened in 2006 when Riley fired Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, but it's a different thing.
They won.
Okay.
So this is the same situation. Fire Spoelstra, come down, coach the team. I guarantee you they start winning games.
I don't agree. Spoelstra's his handpicked guy. And is Riley going to get rebounds for him? What is it going to do? It's not going to do anything to have Riley at the helm. The NFL Hall of Fame semifinalists have been announced, and it's a loaded class. Guys like Marshall Faulk, Deion Sanders, and Curtis Martin are a few on the list, but unfortunately, guys will have to be left out. Christian, who's going to be the biggest snub out of this class?
I'm going to take one of the guys you mentioned, Curtis Martin, because of those other guys. Marshall Faulk is a great part of the greatest show on turf and had one of the most storied careers in the NFL. While Curtis Martin's nothing to laugh about, him fourth on the NFL's all-time rushing list, he just was never, that big of a player.
Yeah, he didn't really have the name notoriety as some of these guys. I mean, you think Marshall Faulk, Deion Sanders. And Bettis the media liked him a little more than Martin also. I think the guy that's going to be snubbed is a guy that's already been snubbed, Chris Carter. Maybe one of the best wide receivers the game's seen, definitely top 10. I think he's going to get snubbed again for whatever reason. I'm not for it, obviously.
I mean, this is a great class. These guys will get in eventually.
Yeah, all the guys will. I happen to agree. Shannon Sharp's another one. Shannon Sharp.
Both number 1 Auburn and number 2 Oregon have tests this week in the SEC Championship and in the Civil War, respectively. If one loses, what will the BCS look like?
Yeah, well, this question is kind of baiting us. Will a one-loss Auburn still be able to retain maybe the number 2 spot, keep TCU out?
It's tough.
I don't think that should happen. TCU, perfection should be rewarded. They are perfect. They don't have any more games. Yeah, I think Auburn, although they've played the toughest schedule and they seem to be a team of destiny, South Carolina might be better. I could see TCU getting that in that national championship game.
Could see it too, but one of these teams has to lose. Auburn, Oregon has to lose for TCU to get in.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think either of them are going to lose. So I'm going to say Auburn and Oregon both win, and they go to the national championship.
I don't know. Watch that South Carolina team. They're dangerous. I could see something like that happen. And the Oregon State game is always pretty close. Maybe not this year. Oregon State's a little outmatched, but don't be surprised if it's close. Time to take our first time out, but when we return, we'll tell you what Boise State's loss did to the BCS picture. Stay right there.